Many people moving to Nashville hope to find a place where they can have horses, maybe some livestock. Maybe you want to start having some chickens. So many people coming here trying to have just a different lifestyle totally. But if that's the case, then this area inside the 440 loop may not be the right spot for you. We do have a video about inside the 440 loop, and you might want to check that one out. But if you want horses, if you want possibly chickens, if you want some type of livestock, then this is not the spot for you. But today we're going to talk about where should you go if you're looking for that type of thing, and what are some of the zoning issues that are involved with it. That's for you. Stick around. Hey, this is Susan Thetford. I'm a realtor here in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and you are here on Living in Nashville show. Every single week I do a different video about things that are going on in the Nashville area for people who are considering a move here to the Nashville area and just looking for information. If you meet that bill, then I encourage you, once you've watched, go ahead, reach out to me. Do what so many people are doing. In the last 2 years, we've had so many people moving to our area. So do what they're doing. Send me a text, send me an email, give me a call. I want to talk to you to see how I might help you find the best location for you if you're thinking of moving to Nashville. Do what they're doing. I'll talk to you soon. Many people moving to Nashville have the idea of living in the countryside, having the gravel beneath your feet, having lots of acreage, possibly having your own mini farm or true farm, where maybe you're going to have chickens, you're going to have horses, you're going to have cows. You're going to live the life that you might envision of rural Tennessee. Well, that's possible. It's not terribly easy anymore because you are not going to be in the middle of downtown Nashville unless you have a ton of money, and that's putting it mildly. But if you're willing to go out further into the countryside, maybe below the 840 loop, in Williamson County, maybe over into eastern Wilson County, some of the outlying counties and outside of the county, outside of the major streets and cities that you might know of, but within 30, 40 minutes of a major city, you're not missing out on the conveniences. You are getting some of the property. You're getting the feeling of being in a rural area, owning your home property. But there's a lot of work to it. I want you to understand, when you're looking for new property here in the Williamson County area or anywhere, you are, if you're in an area with lots of acreage, possibly going to have a septic tank. Now, that's not an impossibility. I grew up on a septic tank too. It's just different than most people. If you're coming from the city on a quarter acre and you think, let's have a house, let's have a chickens, let's have farm, let's have acreage. You got to know, there's some things you got to know about it. Does it have well water? Is it zoned to be able to have enough acreage to have the chickens? Is it in still an HOA of some sort that would allow that? Do you know how to handle a septic tank? Do you know how to build one? Do you want to try to do perk tests? There's many, many things to think about. But it's so worth it if that's the type of life that you want. Now, I had the good fortune to grow up in an area that was in the middle of nowhere when I was growing up. And that was a long time ago, in the 60s. So we had 50 acres that's now in a very close spot that most people now think of as close into the city. But at the time, it was way out there. We had well water. We had septic tanks. We had some of the things that go along with it. We got to have horses, and it's a wonderful way to grow up. But there's a lot of work and care that goes into it. So I'm here to share with you some of the information that I know about. If that's the type of life you want for you and your family, let me give you a little bit of a clue of some of the things to look for when you are researching property in the Middle Tennessee area. What I'm showing you now is an equestrian community that was specifically built to be an equestrian community that is south of Franklin, very close to Berry Farms and Leapers Fork. These are 40 luxury estate home sites, mostly homes now, that are suited for enjoying great equestrian outdoor lifestyle living, beautiful access to the city, gorgeous vistas. And the estate lots here, although they are in a homeowners association, are well suited for horse lovers in search for a community to call home and have the ability for daily rides, care for your horse or pony on your own property. It is 5 to 75 acres each site in size. Currently, homes on the market go from $1 million up to closer to $6 million. But the interesting thing is, you will notice, although it is an HOA, and in most HOAs you cannot have livestock, horses, anything. This one is specifically built for that. I expected it to have a lot of horses here, but as it's developed, that just hasn't really happened. You can actually have up to 8 stalls in some cases and outbuildings for run-in sheds to care for your horses. This is a beautiful location. It just doesn't have any horses really here. Maybe you're the next one. All right, if you're going to have a farm or you're going to live out in more of a rural area, you've got to realize that you are sometimes going to be slowed down by a tractor who is going down the street. Now, that tractor is going to another section of his farm or to another area, another farm to work, and you are in their work area. So just know you're not going to be able to go 40 and 50 miles an hour. They're going to move over as quickly as they can, but you're in their territory. To live compatibly in a very rural area, you've got to know, let them do their work safely. Please don't try to pass, because horrible wrecks do happen. So the place that I was, Kennard Springs, a few minutes ago, was developed as an equestrian center. It was developed to specifically be a place where people could have enough acreage to have horses. And, the set lot sizes are 5 acres to 30 and 40 acres. The interesting thing about it is you see very few horses there. Here's the reason. They could be there. But most people these days, if they have horses, that they're doing more than have the horses as yard art. If it's, if they ride consistently or they trail ride, if they take lessons, if they are showing, and many people in the English and Western world go down to Florida for the winter for the shows. It's really a business. If you have that type of horse, often what you want to be is in a barn that has board, and the boards are all very different. They need to have, many have a sand arena, many have an indoor arena so that they can work and ride daily year round. Here, you can still ride very consistently year round without an arena. Just depends on what you want and how much money you've got to spend. Also, what you'll find is many barns do different things. There's a different fee if you want a turnout, such that in the summertime your horses are inside during the daytime so their coat doesn't burn, and outside at night with turnout blankets, and there's a lot to it. And if you're a horse person, there actually is a lot to it. But finding a space now for those needs is not easy, because so much great farmland has been developed into single family homes or home developments. So when you find a beautiful spot like this, you've got to really savor it. Let's take a look around. Okay, in general, let's talk about what it takes to own livestock in the Middle Tennessee area. If a property is zoned agricultural, you really have no restrictions on the horses or livestock. If it is a residentially zoned area, there will be laws that apply regulating chickens, sheep, horses, llamas, pigs, and cows. But domesticated animals like horses and cats really won't have any kind of restrictions. In general, if you live in an HOA that's a newer HOA with less than an acre lot, you're not going to be able to have anything like horses, anything. And that's really inhumane to try that anyway. If you live in an HOA or looking at a home in an HOA that was done in the 70s, you still may not be able to have chickens or anything beyond dogs and cats. You've got to read the restriction and the restrictive covenants. The local city hall is where you can ask for zoning ordinances, but frankly, get yourself an agent, have them do that research for you. You've got to know whether there's city water, city sewer, whether there is gas available to the property, whether you'll need propane gas, whether you've got the sewer or whether you're going to need to use a septic system. How do you know how to take care of that septic system if it already exists? If you're looking at raw property, How long will it take to get a perk test done to even get permits to do a septic tank? So there is a lot to look into, and find yourself someone who is an expert, who knows what they're doing. In Cheatham County, Sumner County, those are going to be easier areas to find. Maury County, property that you can have horses in. But each county does have it available if you just know where to look. So there you go. Is the farm life the life for you? Are you kind of Lisa Douglas and Green Acres? And it may be different for what you're used to, but you're wanting something different? I can help you. Meanwhile, whatever it is, let's talk about what are your top 5 things that you want in a new home? What are the things you want in a new community? Talk to me about what you want, and I can help you go in the right direction. Till next week, this is Susan. Have a good one.